Welcome Scorpio Soul Time. I'm Ronique, and thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel. Today we are continuing our series on beginning tarot spreads, and we are actually going to talk about a job for me spread, or I like to think of it as what is the right career for me spread. And this is a great spread to do if you are in the process of looking for a new job, if you are looking for a new career, or possibly if you are just starting your journey off in working like me. But you could also be someone who is in their midlife or later on in their years who just wants a different job on the side. So it's really like whatever you intuitively want to ask the universe, this is the spread for you. And this spread actually has 11 cards. And what you do is you start off here, and it's going to be 1, 2 position, 3, 4 position, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the last card is the 11 card. So there is 11 cards in this spread. So each position has a specific meaning, and we will go through. I want you to think of a question that you want to ask the universe before you pull your cards and lay them down. And we're going to keep it really simple. What we're going to ask today is, universe, what is the... Now you want to make sure you ask a question that's not just like a yes or no answer. It's better, instead of you just saying, what is the right career for me? Instead, if you are already maybe interested in going into the restaurant industry, maybe you would say, is the restaurant industry going to be fulfilling for me? Okay, so this is more of a, open, it's not just open-ended. It has a lot more ways to think of it. Instead of saying yes or no, it could be, well, depending on this, it could be that. Okay, so that's kind of like how you want to form your questions. Okay, so position 1 here is going to be, what do I like to do? Position 2 is going to be, why do I like to do it? Position 3 is going to be, why don't I like to do it? Position 4 is going to be, what don't I like to do it? Number 5 position is going to be, what am I naturally good at? Position 6 is going to be, what past jobs have I found satisfying? Position 7 is, what should I avoid in my career? Position 8 is, who is influencing my career choices? Position 9 is, who helps me in my search? Position 10 is, who would I enjoy doing this with again and again and again? Like, why would I enjoy doing this? And the last card, position 11, is, what card describes the perfect job for me? Okay, so we're gonna go back to our question and do a sample spread. So that first position was, what do I like to do? And you can see here, I got the High Priestess. So this already is intuitively telling you, remember the High Priestess is all about your intuition. What is it that you enjoy doing? The universe is basically saying, instead of going in the outside world to look for the answer, go into your own mind, go into your own intuition, ask your angels. That High Priestess is a major arcana card. So for it starting off your career job spread, it's basically telling you the answers are already inside of you. You just intuitively need to relax, speak to your spirit guides, speak to your angels to get guidance. Okay, really good card to start off the spread. Okay, and position 2 is, why do I like to do it? So if you were asking about the restaurant position, why do you like to do it? Here's this 2 of Swords in reverse. So 2 of Swords usually has to be like some kind of decision. Interesting that you got 2 2s back to back in the first 2 positions, which means that you probably have been thinking about probably more than one job. Maybe it's not just the restaurant industry. Maybe it's between working in the restaurant industry and maybe becoming a veterinarian. Okay, so you definitely are kind of torn and you're not quite sure which to choose. But remember, keep going back to that position 1. Your intuition will guide you. Okay, so position 3 is, what don't I like to do? Okay, so position 3, we can see is the 10 of Swords in reverse. So the universe is already telling you if there's something that has come to an end in the past, don't try to go and do it again. You've already tried that, it didn't work, move on. Okay, so anytime you get the 10 of Swords, mentally you have spent all you can on that part of your life and it's time to move on. With it in reverse, it could be you're still holding on to something from the past. And with that position 3, what don't I like to do? There's something that you keep doing over and over in your job, your career, that you don't like doing. So it's time to release that and move on, okay? Position 4 is, why don't I like to do it? Okay, so the first one was what don't I like to do? And now this is why don't you like to do it? And the Page of Wands in that 4th position is basically saying, okay, there's some kind of message. The page always brings some kind of information, and it could be like a passion project. Page of Wands usually have to do with something dealing with the fire energy, but it also could be a passion project that you haven't been able to take on like you wanted to. Maybe you've been getting messages, but you've been ignoring them. And with that position of why don't I like to, maybe you need to ask yourself that. Maybe you've been trying to like do something over and over that no longer is serving you, but you've been getting messages. Maybe, you know, in the restaurant, maybe you're considering the restaurant angle, and possibly you've been getting all these different letters in the mail of culinary art schools, or maybe you've been getting messages about veterinarian schools that you would like to attend. So there definitely is some kind of messages that keep coming in, but maybe you've been ignoring them, okay? Position 5 is, what am I naturally good at? So position 5, look at that. You got the King of Pentacles. So really good to see Pentacles in a position that has to do with what am I naturally good at. So this is the universe telling you, use the energy of what you already have. Similar to that 2 of the High Priestess, the Major Arcana number 2 in the deck. The King of Pentacles is literally saying like there is some type of money or resources in you figuring out what type of position you'll be good at. And with you kind of following your intuition, the universe is telling you you're going to get money. You're going to be rewarded. You're going to have these resources that are really perfect for you, but they're not going to be that hard to come by as long as you're like staying true to yourself with that High Priestess. Yes, you're going to have to make some decisions, but once you let go of some things and you heed some of those messages, that King of Pentacles in that 5th position is saying, take a look of what you're naturally good at, what naturally comes to you, and money will follow. Okay. In position 6, we have, what past jobs have I found satisfying? And with that Emperor card, that is a Major Arcana card as well. So we have this Major Arcana number 4 Emperor saying, what is it in your past life of jobs have you found satisfying? Have you enjoyed something from the past that you didn't really maybe take it seriously? Maybe it was just a hobby, or maybe it was a job, but you weren't being paid enough, so you left it. You know, I think we've all had those type of jobs that you enjoyed doing it, but it wasn't enough maybe to pay your bills. And so the universe is asking you, think back on what you actually have done in the past that has resonated with you, because that Emperor card is someone who is in command of a village, or, you know, like an entire country. This is really like a dominating presence here. And with the King of Pentacles and the Emperor in this 5th and 6th position, the universe is saying, what are you naturally good at? And what past jobs have you found satisfying? There's something in your past that has you were good at, but you didn't realize it, or you didn't take note of it. And the universe is telling you to go back and look at what you've done in the past that you were naturally good at, and that's going to lead you to a career that is very satisfying. Okay. In position 7, we have the 2 of Wands, and the position 7 was, what should I avoid in my career? Okay, and so with that Two of Wands right across from the Page of Wands, very interesting, meaning like there literally is some kind of connection between position 4, which was what don't I like to do, to position 7, which is what should I avoid in my career. So it's almost like these two are talking to each other with messages. And the Two of Wands is you're looking over, your almost like your whole village, or you're looking over your horizon and you're like, I have the world in my hands. If I had the option to choose any career, what would I choose? And with that number 7 saying, what should I avoid? Have you been paying attention to things that, like, do you keep getting in a rut? Are there parts of your life that you're not paying attention to those wands? Are you just kind of like ignoring maybe messages that the wands have been bringing? Have you been ignoring that Page of Wands? So that Two of Wands really wants you to take a look at what it is that you have been dreaming about doing, but also with it in that 7th position, it's saying you need to figure out what you should avoid, because you also don't want to get too starry-eyed and rose-colored glasses and not paying attention or maybe heeding messages from the past. Okay, and then in position 8, who is influencing my career choices? So the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is usually that card of some type of institution or governing body is making some type of rules for you, or you have to follow their rules. And so with that position 8 saying who is influencing my career choices, do you have someone who is dictating what you can and can't do? Are you at a company where they're saying you have to stay in this specific job because that's what your job description is, that's what you were hired to do? Are you feeling like you are stuck because of some higher entity that is governing your choices? So take a look at that in your life now. If that is so, you might need to figure out how you can either come out of that situation, or just think about how is it affecting your choices in terms of your career. Okay, and then in the 9th position, the 9th position is who helps me in my search. You got the King of Swords. So the King of Swords obviously is someone who is very influential, knows how to make swift choices. There obviously is someone who is going to either come into your life or someone you already know who might be saying, hey, you know what? I know of a position at a restaurant that I think you would be perfect for, or maybe you have someone at the veterinary school who's like, you know what, you would really do good in, this type of work with these type of animals. Maybe someone on the inside or someone that is higher up is saying to you, like, I really think you would be good. I think you should apply for this. So that King of Swords in that 9th position of who helps me in my search, take a look around, figure out if there's someone in your life that is really been trying to like help you along in your search. Okay. And then in the 10th position, you have the 10 of Cups in reverse, and the 10th position, interesting, the 10th position, and you also got a 10. So what would I enjoy doing again and again and again? I think it's interesting that is all about joy, right? So that number 10 position is saying, what would I enjoy doing again and again and again? And I think it's very fitting that in this 10th position, you got the happy family, you have the 10 of Cups, where it's almost like whatever career you choose, you want to make sure it's going to make you happy, it's going to make your family happy. With it in reverse, maybe you are concerned that it's not going to happen in a certain amount of time. Like maybe if you get into the veterinarian field, that it's a long process. So maybe it's like, you'll be happy in time, but maybe it will take, 4 years to go to college and then another 3 years of interning. So maybe it's a long process, but in time that you're going to be happy. So whatever it is, think through that before you are deciding specifically on what your career path is going to be. Okay, and then the last position is the 11th position. And the 11th position is, what card describes the perfect job for me? I think it's interesting you get the Hangman in reverse. The Hangman usually upright would be like you're kind of confused, or you don't really, maybe you have some options, but you're not really sure which way to go. But the Hangman in reverse, I always think of this as he's enlightened. This Hangman is a major arcana card. So it's almost like after you've come through this journey, you now end up in this place that you are enlightened and you understand what path you need to take. So I think that this career or job for me spread is really helpful for you if you are really on the fence of what to do about a career, if you're trying to change jobs. But this is also a really good spread to do for a friend or a colleague. Just make sure that you shuffle the cards well and you already have the question in your mind, or whoever you're doing the spread for, they shuffle the cards and they cut the deck to make sure their energy is in the cards when you do the spread. Okay, you all, thank you for joining me, and take a look at the playlist below for more beginning tarot spreads. Bye.